Imagine a Tuesday afternoon, a senior software engineer, a marketing director, or a financial analyst sits at their desk. Let's call him David. David has spent the last 18 months outperforming every single person on his team. He is the one who fixes the broken code at midnight. He is the one who saves the client relationship when an account director slips up. He is, by any objective metric, the anchor of his department. When the annual performance reviews arrive, David expects what he believes he has earned: a significant promotion, a title change, and a matching salary adjustment. Instead, his manager sits back, smiles warmly, and gives him a glowing evaluation, a standard 3% merit raise, and a promise that they will look at the structure again next Q3. David leaves the room confused, feeling an uncomfortable tightness in his chest. What David does not know is that 48 hours earlier, during a closed-door calibration meeting, his name was brought up for a promotion, and his manager was the exact person who quietly blocked it. Not because his manager dislikes him, but because David is simply too valuable where he currently is. By becoming irreplaceable, David inadvertently became unpromotional. He fell into a hidden structural mechanism designed to exploit high performers while starving them of upward mobility. If you want to understand the hidden rules of work before they cost you years of unrewarded labor, subscribe. Most professionals operate under a fundamental comforting belief: corporate hierarchies are meritocracies. We are conditioned from a young age to believe that hard work speaks for itself, that exceptional talent is a scarce commodity companies will desperately fight to retain, and that executing your core responsibilities at a flawless level is the fastest path to the executive suite. It is a clean, logical narrative. It suggests that if you put your head down and deliver undeniable results, the system will naturally lift you up. But this belief is an illusion. In reality, the corporate structure does not reward raw competence. It rewards the strategic management of dependency and perception. When you excel exceptionally at your day-to-day tasks, you do not automatically signal that you are ready for the next level. Instead, you signal something entirely different to the organization. You signal that a highly volatile, critical operational position is currently stabilized because of you. The moment you become the single point of failure for a specific process, a hidden calculation occurs within management. If they promote you, they create a massive, expensive vacancy in the machine that they will have to spend time, money, and political capital to fill and retrain. From a purely systemic perspective, keeping you exactly where you are, while giving you just enough praise to prevent you from quitting, is the most efficient and cost-effective decision the company can make. To understand why this happens, you have to look at the real architecture behind corporate talent optimization. Every company operates on a hidden dual-track evaluation system. The first track is performance, which is a backward-looking metric. It measures how well you executed past tasks. The second track is potential, which is a forward-looking, highly subjective assessment of your political alignment, leadership aura, and strategic visibility. The fatal mistake most talented employees make is assuming that a high score on the performance track automatically converts into a high score on the potential track. It does not. In fact, deep technical mastery often erodes your perceived leadership potential. When you become deeply enmeshed in the granular execution of work, executives stop viewing you as a peer or a strategic thinker. They begin to view you as an elite technician. In the unspoken psychology of upper management, there is a distinct boundary between the people who do the work and the people who allocate the work. The harder you work to prove your value through execution, the deeper you cement yourself on the wrong side of that boundary. What makes this harder to see is that the organization will actively encourage your hyper-execution. They will give you internal awards, shout-outs on quarterly all-hands calls, and complex high-visibility projects that carry no additional compensation. These are what structural analysts call non-monetary retention signals. They cost the company nothing, but they function as psychological anchors, making you feel valued while keeping your market rate suppressed. The system uses your own talent to build a cage around you, and it uses your pride to keep the door locked. There is a second, darker layer to this dynamic that most employees never realize. Within any corporate infrastructure, your immediate manager faces an entirely different set of incentives than you do. Your manager's primary objective is to minimize risk, hit their specific department targets, and protect their own positioning. If you are an exceptional performer who handles 80% of the team's cognitive load without complaining, you are your manager's greatest asset. You make them look good to their superiors while requiring minimal supervision. Therefore, your manager has a powerful hidden incentive to suppress your mobility. If you move up or transfer to another department, your manager loses their shield. They suddenly have to absorb the chaos of an unfilled role or hire someone untested who might expose the team's structural weaknesses. Consequently, during talent review cycles, a manager will often deliberately downplay a high performer's readiness for Advancement. They won't say you are doing a bad job. That would reflect poorly on them. Instead, they will use highly specific, unquantifiable corporate jargon. They will say you need more seasoning, that you should focus on developing your strategic presence, or that the timing isn't quite right with the current budget macro environment. It sounds objective, it sounds professional, but structurally, it is a containment strategy. The invisible consequences of this system accumulate quietly over years, resulting in what is known as career calcification. When you rely solely on your talent, you inadvertently opt out of the actual currency of promotion, political leverage, and signal management. While you are sitting at your desk, perfecting a spreadsheet or refining a product feature, someone with half your technical ability is spending their afternoon walking the hallway, building a relationship with a key stakeholder, or volunteering for a cross-functional steering committee. From the outside, it looks like that person is wasting time or avoiding real work. Structurally, however, they are building an internal reputation system that bypasses their immediate manager entirely. They are creating a direct line of sight between themselves and the decision makers who actually control the compensation bands and promotion slots. When a leadership position opens up, the organization does not look for the person who did the most work. They look for the person whose face and voice are already associated with strategic initiatives. The hyper-competent worker is left behind, locked into a cycle of salary stagnation, doing unpaid extra labor under the false impression that the next project will finally be the one that breaks the ceiling. To survive this, you must completely reframe how you view your value within an organization. Competence is not a ladder. It is a baseline. Once you have proven you can do the job, continuing to optimize your execution yields diminishing returns. Your focus must shift from how much work you can do to who is aware of the work you are doing and how easily that work can be automated or delegated. If you are currently trapped in a cycle of high performance and low advancement, you have to understand that the issue is not your effort, your loyalty, or your intelligence. The issue is that you are playing a game governed by a set of rules you haven't been allowed to see. The organization is a machine designed to extract maximum output for minimum input. If you allow your talent to be consumed quietly in the dark, the system will let you do it forever. You must learn to manage the signal, artificially limit your availability, and treat your visibility as an asset more valuable than your actual output. Ultimately, you must internalize a fundamental truth of modern corporate life. The system will always offer you exactly what it thinks you will accept. If you accept praise instead of equity, if you accept promises instead of written contracts, and if you accept more work instead of more leverage, that is exactly what you will continue to receive. The decision regarding your ultimate value was made long before you realized you were being judged. If you do not actively manage the perception of your utility, the organization will default to the most profitable arrangement possible, keeping you exactly where you are.